Yo, what's good, everybody? I want to welcome y'all back to another episode of the Am I Toxic podcast. Let's get started. And for some of y'all, if y'all new here, what I'm about to say don't really apply to y'all. But if y'all been following me for a while, y'all been listening to the episodes, y'all know it's been a while since I talked to y'all. It's been a while since y'all heard from me. But we back, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to give y'all a little update on why I haven't really released no episodes, whatever, stuff like that. So what's really been going on is like, at the time, if you knew me personally, you know, I was living in Nebraska up until August. So I moved to Colorado in August. And so when I got out here, you know what I'm saying, I had to get like a different setup, yada, yada, yada. So that's really why haven't been doing any episodes, just because I moved and like a lot of stuff changed, whatever, for me. And so yeah, like I'm back, you know what I'm saying, I can do more episodes for y'all. You know, y'all miss me, I miss talking to y'all, whatever, giving y'all this spicy talk, this toxic talk or whatever, you know what I'm saying, ruffling some feathers a little bit, you know what I'm saying. But yeah, and this right here that's going on right now, you know what I'm saying, it's in the process of growing. This is by choice that I look like this or whatever. So you know what I'm saying, don't judge me, love me. But yeah, I'm glad to be back. Let's shoot this episode. Let's get this started. Welcome to the Am I Toxic podcast. Alright, boom. And if you're new to the episode, every week, you know what I'm saying, when I do an episode, I start off by doing a little toxic talk. Basically, toxic talk is when I just discuss something toxic that I've seen, something that I've heard or whatever. Just something, could be something that I've dealt with, something one of my friends has brought me to talk about, or something I just seen on social media. So basically, for this week's toxic talk, I want to discuss, as you can see on the screen, this particular post. It says, "Dear women, please get out of your head. You're running off the good man." Now, when I posted this or reshared it to my Instagram or whatever, I was getting some comments like what they mean by this and we don't do this, yada yada yada. And I want to say, like, that's y'all problem, you know what I'm saying? Like, what he basically saying is, when he say get out your head, it's more so meaning like y'all are making like a lot of assumptions to the people that y'all are dating. So let's say, like, for example, like you meet a guy, y'all dating, whatever. He hasn't did anything yet or showed you anything yet to prove that he's like a cheater or a liar, whatever, yada yada yada. But basically, you've been traumatized by somebody you've previously dealt with, which we know that's pretty much out of our control, right? That somebody else hurt you. So we should give y'all like a little leeway with it. But basically, what he's saying is like, if you are here accusing the dude that you currently with or so of doing stuff that he hasn't even done yet, we basically kind of like running him off, scaring him off, because you really like, you tripping. Like, for me personally, like if I'm not doing anything, you always be like, why the fuck you, yada yada yada. Like, oh, are you doing this with some girl, like, and I ain't doing nothing, like I'm completely innocent? Then of course I'll be like, alright, I'm about to stop fucking with you because you tripping. Like, why you doing all this? Like, I ain't did nothing to you, like, and we just started talking, you just start dating. So that's pretty much what she means by saying like, get out y'all head, because y'all, like, a lot of times y'all overanalyze things, y'all overthink things, and stuff don't really be going on. Or like, I know y'all been seeing like the little post that's been going around recently, where it's saying like, this the reason why I'm single, because I'm not finna explain to nobody that I was sleeping. You know what I'm saying? Basically mean, you know, like how some people be like, oh no, you weren't really asleep and you was really asleep, whatever, just because it may be like at a weird time of the day. Like, oh, why you sleep at 2 p.m? Like from like 2 to 5, or like taking a nap or something. So stuff like that. So yeah, so that's this week's toxic talk, and we're gonna get into this episode. So basically, this episode idea that I created this episode idea like a while back when I used to live in Nebraska. The episode idea was basically supposed to be for a couple, right? And so I'm gonna do this particular episode a little bit differently than how I had planned. So instead of me interviewing a couple, basically I'm gonna be answering some of these questions that I had put down, and I'm gonna give y'all my point of view of my current relationship, basically. So a lot of the stuff was like male and female questions, but I'm just gonna give my side of the story for everything, or like my point of view of how I feel about the relationship and all that type of stuff. All right, so to get started, the first thing I had put down, because I was going to answer let the people know, whatever, the people that I was interviewing, I was like, okay, so how long have y'all been together? All right, so the thing is, with me and Jazz, that's my girlfriend name, whatever, we've been together officially since last year in June. Alright. But we've known each other for like 4 or 5 years previous before that. Like we was friends, whatever. And so like yeah, we've been together for at this point like almost over like a year and a half. And then but we've known each other like 5 years. So that's pretty much that. Now, question 2. Where did we meet? So me and Jazz met physically. I know this is gonna sound crazy, like to everybody it's gonna sound crazy. We met each other through Instagram basically, right? Y'all know me, like I'm not like a big go out person, so I ain't really meeting a lot of people outside of like social media or whatever, yada yada yada. So you know what I'm saying, we follow each other, we used to talk like all the time. Snapchat, whatever, Instagram, texting, eventually calling each other, yada, all that type of stuff. So that was like how our communication really started, through social media, through Instagram. That's where we saw each other at. And then from there, as far as like physically we met. Like I said, at the time when we first met each other, I used to live in Louisiana. She used to live in fucking Kansas City, basically. And so like yeah, if y'all know, like that shit far as fuck. So that's why I'm saying we was never like physically hanging around with each other, yada yada yada. And so in 2020, I moved to Omaha, Nebraska, which just so happened to be like 2.5 hours away from Kansas City where she was at. You know what I'm saying? At the time we both was single. And then we both was like just talking to each other. That's when we really started like heavily flirting with each other. Cause like before then we didn't really do like that. More so it was like a friendship, whatever. We just talked to each other about different stuff. And then that's how that pretty much went. But so like yeah, so I moved to Nebraska and I was hitting up. I was like, hey, I'm about to move to yada yada yada. And then we just talking and then we just found out like, hey, you're like 2.5 hours away from me, 2 hours. So like, I can come out there, you come out here, whatever, yada yada yada. So that's how that went. And so now I ain't saying when I immediately got out there, we started hanging out and stuff like that. That's not how that happened. So I was out there for at least like almost a year before she actually came out there. So and then even during that time, I was actually like messing with somebody else. Like I was dating somebody else at the time, whatever. Like when I got out there, eventually I started dating somebody. And so yeah, so me and the person that I was dating at the time, we stopped dating, stopped talking, yada yada yada. So that's when like it got real serious between like me and Jazz or whatever. So we this is what I'm gonna say, it's gonna sound crazy. So like when we officially first met, you know what I'm saying, like I was more so like joking around with her. You know what I'm saying? So at the time, you know what I'm saying, I wouldn't mess with my girl no more. Or my ex. I wouldn't mess with her no more, we would have no dealings. And so me and Jazz just talking, we just playing around. In my head I was just playing around because I didn't think that she was gonna really happen or whatever. So I'm just like, alright, you just come out here, you should come live with me. Yada yada yada. So I'm just joking, you know what I'm saying? Jazz really fucking, you know what I'm saying, she packed up where she was living at and she came out there. And she came out there like June 10th or June 8th, something like that. And we've been together since then, like literally, like moved in and everything, and we got a relationship, yada yada yada. And y'all know she pregnant and everything, like literally, like we together. That's how that story happened, like literally. First time we together, she was moving in. Now, it sound weird a little bit, I understand, but at the same time, it wasn't like she was like a complete stranger. Now, at the same point, like I said, when I first was like, hey, yeah, come out here, I didn't think she was really gonna do it. You know what I'm saying? Because it sounded like somebody just offering to like move and you stay somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Y'all never like hung out, whatever. It would be a little awkward, right? But we still together, so clearly it worked out, right? So yeah, that's pretty much how we met, how long we been together. Alright, boom. So who made the first move? I don't know. To be honest, like I don't want to just say either one of us. Like I don't want to say she did it or I did it. Because I really can't remember. Like of course, like throwing out like the little moving shit. Of course, like I did that. But I'm saying like before that, like we done had like little flirtatious moments to like till we know that we kind of like feeling each other a little bit. Like we both did that. but I don't really know who made the initial one. Cause like even when we was in Louisiana, it wasn't like crazy. Like not we was in Louisiana. When I was in Louisiana, it wasn't like crazy flirting. It was like here and there, yada yada yada. Cause we had both been in relationships, whatever. Like I didn't talk to her while she was in relationships, not so like on that level, but I'm just saying like we didn't both witness each other be in relationships with other people. So like I'm saying, like it really was like a friendship at first. And so for this one, I can't really say who made the first move outside of like the little movie thing, cause as far as like initiating like that we really like kind of like each other, whatever, or was attracted to each other. I don't know, to be honest. So this would say what made me go after her. So once again, like I said, we had already been cool, so we already had that like the little friendship. So I was already cool like talking to her or whatever. We had already had like a little relationship established with each other, like some compatibility in some areas. And then as far as like I was comfortable with her basically as a person, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we didn't already talk to her. We've been talking to each other about like the relationship problem that we was having with other people. So we kind of had some stuff like dealing with, and then if I ever needed like talk to somebody or whatever, we would talk. So it was that. So like I was comfortable with her, and then that's what pretty much made it happen. Like of course, like I was already attracted to her, duh. And then as far as that, once it was clear that it might be like a actual possibility of a chance that we could actually like be together, date or whatever, stuff like that. And of course I went for it. And then here we are, we together, and then that's that. So of course there's another side to this question, like what made her give me a chance, yada yada yada. She's not here to do this. So this says like what's the best part about being with the other person. Now the best part about being with the other person, I don't know, like for me, being with Jazz, like it's more so like she really just lets me like be myself. And I don't mean like she trying to change me, stuff like that, but in a way she doesn't try to change me. She allows me to do what I want to do. Like if I want to just play the game for like the whole day, she don't really trip over that. Like she knows like the stuff that I like she wants me to do the things that makes me happy, right? She doesn't really trip about certain things. Now she's still a woman, so she gonna still have her moments of like what she want to have like some attention or whatever. She want to have like some affection between us or whatever. Right? So that's understandable. But for the most part, like the main thing, like that's the best part about being with her. Like I really get to do what I want to do. And I don't mean like in a disrespectful way or nothing like that, but I'm just saying like she really just let me do what I want to do. Like I can spend my time how I want to spend my time. I say like she a real caring person. Whatever, like I don't want to say like she put me before herself, but in a way I kind of feel like she does. Like I say, like she let me do what I want to do. If we getting food or something like that, she will basically eat at a place that I want to eat. You know what I'm saying? Like even if I'm asking her like what you want to eat, she's like, "No, it's cool. We can go wherever we want to go." So like she pretty much be down for whatever I be down for. And I guess y'all can say like she kind of like of a. I guess she could be considered like a submissive person, and then that's what that is. So yeah, like she pretty much do for me like if really she want to see me happy basically. That's really much what it is. Like she really want to see me happy. That's pretty much like the best thing. Like so like certain stuff I want to do or certain stuff I want to get. Like normally for myself, like I normally give myself everything, whatever. Like cause I don't like other people giving me gifts. Cause they be like, oh I got you yada 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 and stuff like that. That's really like I don't like taking gifts from other people. But for her, she's been like the first person I really just allowed to like do things for me, whatever. So like she'll give me games, and my birthday finna come up. She bought us tickets to go see the Lakers. You know what I'm saying? Like so normally stuff like that. That's stuff that I would do for myself. And then so yeah, that's just I say like that's like the best part. You know what I'm saying? Just like our connection with each other is good, basically. And it could be that we had the little friendship beforehand, rather than like we just, oh, I like you, let's try to start talking to each other, and then we're gonna start dating. And then you gotta learn each other as y'all grow. Now we still, of course, we still learning each other, because like the physical aspect of like being around somebody, of course, for the first time, is not the same as like when you texting or talking on the phone, because you're not really just interacting with them like on a physical presence type of level. So of course there was them stuff we had to get to adjust it in the beginning. Now I'm not saying this shit been all like good, but we'll get to that later into the other questions or other scenarios. Now it says, what's something about them that you don't like or you wish they would do better? Now, had I did this episode a long time ago, I would have had something to like really speak on, but I'm gonna still speak on like at the time that I had a problem with, whatever. Like, so with Jazz, she would kind of like yell basically whenever she was upset, or we get into like arguments, whatever. And for me, arguing is like I ain't not arguing, like I hate arguing, of course. Like I don't think nobody likes arguing unless like you're really toxic as fuck. But for me, like yelling at me is like my number one like pet peeve, probably, like when I'm dating with somebody. Because like, as y'all, if you new here, then you never heard me say it, but if you didn't listen to the episode before, then I've already explained. But basically, like for me, like yelling, I feel like so disrespectful when you yell at me, so I completely shut down. So like it make me like angry to the point that I want to fight. And of course, she's a girl, I can't put my hands on her, of course, right? So that was kind of like the biggest thing I would say that I didn't like or whatever. It's just that, yeah, cause like don't be yelling at me, cause you not like we both grown, we both adults. I'm not a child, whatever. Or I'm not your child. You're not my parent, nothing like that. So you don't have the right to raise your voice at me, or like. So I be real, like I said, I be ready to fight. You know what I'm saying? Like I be just mad as fuck. So I shut down. I don't say nothing else. Don't say nothing to me, cause I'm gonna get like really disrespectful. So like once I get to like a certain level and I'm mad, I really say anything. Like I really just be going off. Like I be like, fuck this shit. I don't want to be with you no more, yada yada, cause you doing the most, right? Cause like for me, like my biggest thing is like peace. I just want to have a peaceful life. Anything other than that, I don't want to be with you. Like if my life's not peaceful while I'm with you, I'd rather just be single, because I know when I'm single, I don't have any problems when I'm single. So that's pretty much it. Yeah. Oh, and if I want to add something else, like which the young thing she has got completely better at that. Like we had the stuff in the beginning when we first was dating and we was around each other and we was having like our little arguments, whatever the case may be. Yeah, she works on it. She's way better at that now. Like she rarely, hardly if ever does that. And so when it comes to another thing, now she's still kind of like this, whatever, but not as the degree of like when it was in the beginning. Cause like she the type of person that she kind of wants to be included in everything. Like she just wants to be a part of like everything in my life. Like in which for me, I don't like that per se, because like I be wanting my space. Like I don't want to have to do everything with you. I don't want to have to tell you everything about me, or like I don't want to have to experience everything with you. Like some stuff that I like to do by myself, I want to do like alone. I don't always want to do it with the person I'm dating. And so for her, it's the complete opposite. She want to do everything together. She like to know everything. She's a nosy person. Like that's just her. So like and like I said, in the beginning it was worse, but now it's gotten better. She's more so understanding. Like I said, it's a growing thing. We growing with each other. Like we knowing what each other want, and then yeah, that's that. All right, boom. So now this next one says, has there ever been a moment in a relationship where you thought, I don't know if I can do this? Now, if y'all know me, long relationships ain't my thing. I don't know, my tolerance is so low. So y'all already know, for me, it's been plenty of fucking times. Shit, within like the first 2 or 3 weeks that we was together, like that she was at my place, whatever. hell yeah. I was like, man, fuck this shit. Like, I'm about to say, like, you finna have to go back to where you came from. You know, like, this ain't working for me. But it didn't happen, you know what I'm saying? Like, we still together, of course. So, but yeah, it was early. I was like, I can't do this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it was more so based on, like, we was already seeing yelling at me, and I was like, you know what? I don't know. This ain't for me. Because I could see how her personality was, like, at that point. Because, like I said, for me personally, like, as far as, like, when I'm with my friends or whatever, or I'm communicating with my friends, I don't argue with none of my friends because there's no reason for us to argue. Like, I don't fight with them, so we never had an argument before then. So we both didn't know how to basically. Well, we both didn't know how the other person would react in arguments or how they act in arguments, and so that was pretty much like the biggest thing right there. So like it was both new to us. Like it's our first argument, whatever, and so we both are seeing how shit bothers one another. And so now I'm not saying arguments was all her fault. Like I was doing shit, whatever. Well, that she felt was bad. That sometimes I didn't really think some shit was bad, whatever. But like, yeah, that's just that. Like it wasn't nothing that y'all probably thinking, but it was more so probably like maybe I'm not giving her enough attention and yada yada yada. Which, like I say, we just started being around each other, so we was just an adjustment for us. But yeah, and then down the line and stuff, of course we've had fights, couples have fights, whatever. So yeah, it's been plenty of fucking times that I was just like, no, I don't fuck this shit. Like, if she could tell y'all herself, like, if she was here, she'll let y'all know. Like, I didn't, plenty of times I done told her, like, I can't do this shit. Like, I don't want to be together, yada, yada, yada. You gonna have to go. Somebody got to come. You know what I'm saying? You got to go back to you got to go somewhere. You got to get up out of here, basically. So, and yeah. And so, this one, I kind of already answered it. So I was going to ask, what do I think is the hardest part about what do you think the hardest part about being in a relationship is? In general, I think the hardest thing about being in relationships is that you really don't know. I don't want to say you really don't know your partner, but you never really know anyone's intentions, or you never really know 100% how someone else is feeling, or what's going through someone else's mind, or like what someone else is doing. Like, it's no way you can 100% ever be sure or aware of everything. So that's pretty much like the biggest thing for me. And not saying that I'm not saying that I have trust issues or anything like that, but for the most part, like I was just saying, like you never know. Like a lot of shit you aren't aware of. Like when somebody say something to you, do they really mean it? And I'm not speaking on jazz. I'm just speaking on like relationships in general. Like when someone say, "Oh, I love you," do they really love you? I care about you. Do you really care about me? Like, of course, like people can say things or whatever, but you don't really know. Like at the same time, when it comes to like trusting somebody, or like being faithful, or like what people doing behind your back, you don't know what somebody doing behind your back. You aren't aware of that. Of course, you gon' in your head you want to believe, but at the same time you might be like, I don't know. So that's kind of like, for me at least, that's gonna be like the hardest thing for me is to like completely trust somebody. Like I don't think I can ever completely trust somebody or whatever, just because people just be doing shit or whatever. And so yeah, so that probably kind of like focus my relationships a little bit or whatever. Because now I don't ever accuse somebody of doing things, but in my head I assume that maybe like a person is doing some shit or whatever. And so kind of like how we talked about toxic talk earlier when I was like, get out y'all head because y'all probably running away. But in this case, I don't really explain that shit to my partner that I feel like they may be doing something or that I don't really trust them, yada yada. It's just like my natural thing. Just trusting people in general, not even just somebody I'm dating. It's just something that I just cannot do because people just I always feel that people have ulterior motives basically. That they may not like you like they say they like you. They may not be your friend like they say they your friend, because you never know what a situation could come up and then somebody can completely like do a flip on you. Because you see it all the time. People always get into stuff with people, relationships end over yada yada yada. They be like, and then people turn completely different. So it's kind of like for me. So like I don't like to tell like people that I'm dealing with or whatever. A lot of my personal information, just in case that we're not together in the future. And then for me, like when I get into relationships, of course my end goal is to just to be with that person forever, right? But at the same time, I'm also aware that this shit could end one day. So like I'm realistic at the end of the day when I come to my relationships. Or just any type of situation that I'm having with somebody, that I know this shit could happen. I mean, this shit could go left at any point. And then I'd be okay with it. So it's kind of like I already have like that kind of like blockage set up to where when something happens, I'm ready for it. And then now for me, it's a little bit different because like in my situations, I be the one who kind of like end the relationships, whatever. So I don't be like surprised by like a breakup or something. It be the other person who's surprised, like, oh yeah, I want to end a relationship, and then like, oh, where all this coming from? But like, it's been like building up to that I don't want to be together. So that part, like I said, it's not really like a surprise to me, more so a surprise for the other person. And so, yeah. To get off this one, I'm just gonna say one more thing, or just to sum it all up. Hardest part is not knowing things in a relationship, whatever. Like, because you don't know what's gonna happen in the future. Like, you have no way of knowing. So that's pretty much that. So this says, is there anyone who doesn't like y'all being together, friends or family? Now, for me personally, to my knowledge, I'm not aware of anybody like friends or family, and I'm not saying like girls who possibly want to be with me and they be like, oh yeah, I should break up. That don't count. Shit like that don't count. Because of course I'm sure people don't want you to be with your person so that you can be with them, of course, right? But as far as like my friends and my family, to my knowledge, I don't think nobody got a problem with her or like us being together. Now on her end, I don't know. Could be completely different because like I said, we done had arguments plenty of time. Like we done had like when I'm like, get the fuck out, yada yada yada, stuff like that. So she done had to talk to people and like tell them like, you don't want to be with me now, yada yada. So like, I don't know. Like, I'm not saying, I don't know if they don't like me or whatever. They might not. But for me, if her family don't like me or friends don't like me, I personally don't give a fuck. But that's only because like I've never been the type of person who really was like close with or really really cool with the people's family of the person that I'm dating. I really don't care because like I stay to myself anyway. So like even with my own personal family, like I'm not like super. I'm not saying like that I don't like my family or like that. I like my family. I'm cool with my family. I don't have no problem with them. But as far as like just we want to go out and do this, we're going to have like this family get together, yada yada. I don't really go to stuff like that. Or if I do, I'm going to stay to myself. I might like, so like for example, like when I used to live at home and stuff like that, we'd have like Thanksgiving, everybody be in the front. I'm in my plate, I'm going to my room, like, and then I'm probably going to keep my fucking trash plate in my room until everybody gone for the night, because I really don't want to go out there and interact with everybody. That's just me personally. Like, I've never been like a big family person. More so like, and it's also because like, or like friends, I don't want to be friends with your friends. I don't want to have like a close relationship with your family or whatever. I'm not trying to go to y'all family get-togethers, y'all trips or internet. I don't want to have their number. They ain't got to call me. We ain't got to talk about nothing. It's cool and I'm fine with that. It's not that I don't like them. I just don't have those relationships with the people that I'm, the people's family or the person that I'm dating. And that's just what it is. Alright. So this next thing says, do y'all trust each other 100%? And have one of y'all ever went through the other person's phone and stuff? So my answer 100%, hell no. Of course, I don't trust nobody 100%. Do I ever believe that she doing shit? I don't confidently believe that she has ever done anything. Like, cause I know she loves me and shit like that. Now, I'm not saying just cause you love somebody you won't do shit. Cause I've been on the show, I've definitely said like I believe you can love somebody and still maybe like cheat on them, yada yada yada. Now I'm more so meaning from my side as a man versus like a woman's side, because y'all know I've already explained. I'm not even gonna get into that episode, or I'm not even gonna get into that particular topic to where I break that down or why I believe like that. But to sum it down, men, I feel like easier to have sex with somebody else. Women, cheating, I feel like it's more emotional. So like I feel like you cheat on somebody as you a woman, you got like you and that person that you cheated with. I think it's more than sex. You know what I'm saying? Like I think you just really have an emotional connection with that person. So yeah, this is that. But yeah, I ain't never went on nobody's phone. That ain't nothing I do. Like I ain't doing all that. Like I don't care enough to do all that. But like I said, yeah, I don't trust anyone else. I don't trust anyone 100%. It's just, I don't know. It's not possible for me to trust you 100%. Cause then, if you do something to me, or you betray my trust, I'ma really feel played. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know what I'm gonna do at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like I could lose my fucking mind. Or depending on like the seriousness of the thing. But like yeah, like I don't really trust somebody. Or even if you lie to me about like some small shit, which she has lied to me about some small shit, whatever. And it do fuck up, cause like if I feel like you lied to me one time, I don't believe you. Like when you say like a lot of shit to me, I just feel like okay, or whatever. Do I really believe you? No. Like I may act like I believe you, but in the back of my mind, I'm like that's bullshit. I don't believe nothing you saying to me because I know that you lied to me in the past. So like I'm saying, like once I've said it before, like trust is like one of the hardest things to earn, and it's also one of the hardest things that you can never get back. Like you can never get your trust back. Like once somebody betrays that you can never trust that person the way that you did previously before whatever happened in the situation. So it's one of the most important things to have in a relationship, because if you trust your partner, I think it makes you feel like a little more comfortable. You kind of feel like they'll never do yada yada yada. Now I'm not saying just be stupid and just willingly do that, because you never know. Like I said, you never know what your person can do. Like you never know. Like I'm not trying to get you out here yada yada yada. I'm just saying like in my aspect, that's how I look at certain things. So this thing says that, do y'all think y'all have the same mutual goals as a couple for the future? And this goes into like kids, marriage, where y'all want to live further, yada yada, stuff like that. So for us, in my opinion, and I can kind of like speak for her a little bit on some of this stuff. Like for kids, we set on kids. Like we have a child together, and when I met her, I didn't want to have no more kids. Like, of course, I want a son. Of course, I got 2 daughters. If y'all didn't know, I have 2 daughters. Like when me and Jazz met, I already had a daughter by someone else. And so she was aware of that. And kind of at the same time, she kind of knew I didn't want to have no more kids. But at the same time, I'm like, all right, cool. Because before her, I was just dating people with kids just because. I ain't say just because, but because of the fact that, or because I know that I didn't want to have no more kids, and they already have kids already. So it'll be cool, or it'll be kind of basically like situated that they already have a kid. So I don't want to rob them of like a dream they probably had since like a little girl. I ain't saying like a little girl or whatever, or since they had as a, whenever they got to the age to say, yeah, I know in the future I want to be a mom myself. So I never wanted to take the opportunity away from nobody. So with her, I was comfortable with being like, all right, I'll try one more time. We can have a kid. And so we got our child together. And so like, we wanted a boy. We got a girl though. But yeah, so we don't want to have any more kids. Now for us, our situation is a little bit different. Now the only freaking way that we gonna have another kid, so like if y'all don't know, like me and Jazz are like polygamous, right? We are going to eventually have a girlfriend, alright? So just say like me and Jazz, we meet a girl and she doesn't have kids. Now that's something of course we wanna we gonna express to the person in the beginning time. It's kind of like I don't want to have more kids, but just say like down the line, things could change. Just say like we meet a person and then that person doesn't have kids. But like I always say, I don't want to rob nobody of the opportunity of wanting to be a mother if they wanted to be a mother. And so, some people don't want to have kids, some people do want to have kids. And so like I'm saying, like if we met somebody and she wanted to have kids, now where we come into like a little conflict or more thought would be into it, I would say for me to have another kid with the person that me and Jazz is dating, like that would have to be something, or that would have to be a person that we have been together with. They said like we meet a person, we together for like 5 years, and then she expressed to us that, hey, I think I want to have a kid, and let's just say like me and Jazz love this person, and we talk it all out as a couple, and then more so me and Jazz, we talk about it as well. And then we discuss like, hey, or more so, I really want her opinion of it more so than really mine, because I would have to make the baby, of course. She would have to, the other girl would have to have my baby, and then Jazz would just be there. Like, she ain't really completely into it. So it has to be somebody that we completely trust, that we gonna really have this relationship with. And if Jazz feels like she loves that person enough to want me to have a baby with her, or to make her happy and to give her a baby, just like the same way like how I gave Jazz a child, the same way she was like, oh yeah, like I really love this girl as well. I want her to be completely happy. I don't want to lose her because yada yada. If she wants a kid, I feel comfortable enough that she, and I'm speaking like in her thing, or her, from her point of view, like yeah, like I feel comfortable enough to give her a child. So off of the kid subject, when it comes into like marriage, yeah, we 100% agreeing on that. We not getting married. We know that's not happening. Like she knows I don't want to get married. She cool with us not ever being married, because she just like, as long as we together, she happy with that. So where I want to live forever now for us, like I said, Jazz is really, really, really big on like, she down for whatever I'm down for. So, like I said, she just moved to me to Colorado. Like, yeah, she moved to fucking Nebraska. So like, she cool with like doing or going places I want to go. Like, so I don't think it's a problem. She know like my dream destination to live. I want to live in like Chattanooga, Tennessee. For some reason, I don't know why. Like I just really think the place is like beautiful, or whatever, and I kind of want to live there. And she cool with it. Like she cool, like, hey, let's build a house out there, yada yada yada, and then that's where we could live forever. Now, it's a lot of places we like to want to go and stuff like that. So that could change, but my dream destination is Chattanooga, and she down with going. So like for the most part, from my point of view, I think we have mutual goals as a couple, and I think that for a relationship to work, as far as like down the line, in the future for anybody, y'all should have mutual things. Because if somebody wants something that somebody else doesn't want, you may waste your time with that person, and then that's that. Or you may spend time with a person thinking that when you get to a certain stage, they may change their mind, and they may be fucking dead set on what they told you when y'all first met, that they not changing their mind. And you can waste like your time with this person thinking, hey, we're gonna get to 10 years in, 5 years in, and then I possibly can convince them to change their mind, and that may not work. So you just got to be confident in the person that you with, that y'all both have equal goals, and it can work out better than the other way around, basically. Alright, boom. So this next thing says that, is your partner's relationship history something you felt that you needed to know, or did not care? Or did you not care? So for me, I never was one to really care about my partner's like relationship history. I really don't want to know, because I'm not going to believe anything you tell me anyways. So that's that. So regardless, like I said now, me and her, I've seen her be in relationships. So some shit I'm already just automatically aware of, and she's automatically aware of me being in relationships as well. So, but as far as like me going to ask her, hey, how many people you dated, yada yada, I don't really care about none of that shit. I don't really care. Like I said, whatever you tell me, I'm not gonna believe. You could be telling me the truth. I don't believe you. So that's pretty much my basis for that. Um, and then we had discussions before, like we even got together, that we really don't want to talk about the past with each other. It's just gonna be the past. It's gonna be a past, and then that's that. So that's our outlook from my point of view, of course. But like I said, like speaking for her as well, we don't ask each other that. We don't really worry about that. And I'm not saying if she cared about shit I did in the past, she may not. But like I said, she doesn't ask. We don't discuss that because we don't. What's the point? Was we can't change shit that we either one of us did in the past or people that we dated in the past. Yada yada. Now this one say, if one of you cheated on the other one, would y'all leave or stay together? Now, fuck no. Y'all already know my opinion on cheating. You cheat on me, I gotta leave you. I gotta leave you. I can't speak for Jazz. Now she tells me that if I cheat, that she would leave. Do we know? No, because a lot of people say that somebody cheat on them and they stay. So, but I'm just saying, like, I know for 100% fact that it would be no more us. This shit would be over with. We would be not together. I might be in jail or something. Cause I'm like, why you playing with me like that? You know what I'm saying? But that's beside the point. This one says, who runs the relationship? For this one, I wish she was here so she can let y'all know. Y'all done been listening this far, so of course it's pretty obvious that I run the relationship. Which I don't mean like I just control her. I don't make her do anything. She's free to do whatever she wants. So it's nothing like that. Whenever I say like means like who runs the relationship, like I make a lot of the relationship choices. Like we can discuss some things or whatever. But at the same time, I said like she kind of submissive. So like she'll kind of like follow my lead or whatever. She got my back on like decisions that I make. Cause she be confident in the choices that I make. So she cool with backing me on some stuff. So, yeah, I would say, yeah, I feel like I'm in a relationship, which I'm not finna say like, oh, I feel like every man should run a relationship, because that may not be true. Like, some women may run a relationship. It may be better for the woman to run the relationship. She may be the smarter person. She may make the better decisions. She may be better at managing money for the couple. It's just different stuff that can go into different scenarios. But just for me and Jazz, our stuff works better with me. Alright, so this one was a question that was gonna be for a girl. Just gonna say like, could I tell her no for sex? If she was here, I can probably say that she would say no just to be jokingly, but at the same time she would be like yes. Cause she knows that if I don't want to have sex, I don't want to have sex. Which, yeah, and that's pretty much that. She's not gonna be. Now she probably be a little upset, but not to the point like she just angry as fuck. But she kind of be like a little disappointed. And then that's just gonna be that. But she might go to sleep a little early just cause I be like, yeah, I might be doing something else. And so like I said, with her, she understand, but at the same time, whatever. This one is for the guy, and there's also two sides for it as well. So it basically says that, do you feel that you give her enough attention? So, in my honest, 100% opinion, no, I don't. Like, cause I do be focused on like a lot of other things. So, and at the same time, for me, a lot of the stuff that I do, I do alone. Like I said, like a lot of stuff that I do is more, it's not for two people. Now, if she wanted to learn how to play the game and stuff like that, and she wanted to play the game with me every day, we'd be online, she'd be on her game, I'd be on my game, then that could be stuff that we could do together. But as far as like us like sharing the same TV, playing the game, that ain't gonna really happen. But for the most part, I feel that I don't give her enough attention, but at the same time, but it's more so basically because, like I said, a lot of stuff that I do, I like to do by myself. It doesn't really include like another person. But I know that I could. Some days, there are some days where I come home, I may not play the game. I may watch TV or some shit like that. Now, or we used to watch fucking shows or binge watch shows and movies together. We don't really do that a lot because our schedules conflict now or whatever. Cause she be having to work kind of like a really, really early morning shift. So she be having to go to sleep a little bit earlier. Rather like I'm probably get off at like 8. When I come home, she already in bed. Sometimes she already asleep. So our relationship be conflicting with time schedule other than that. But we get food together, like we eat together and stuff like that. We go on dates occasionally. And yeah. So that's it. And then last thing says, can y'all have friends of the opposite sex? Now,
hey, somebody say, man, every time I step outside, I spend $100 or more.
for me, fuck no. Hell no. My fucking motto is, now, I'm a little contradicting when it comes to this. And she'll tell y'all that if she was here. But my motto is, if they weren't friends before we got together, you can't have no new ones. Now, granted, like I said, she did move from Kansas City to Nebraska to be with me. And then we are now in a new place. So, but like I still feel that you can't have no new guy friends. Because I don't really like you having guy friends anyways. But what you had before me, I can't really control. And she probably feel the same way. She don't want me to have new girl friends, or she don't really care that I have girls from my past that are my friends, because she don't really believe they my friends anyways. Not all of them, but she know my friends who my friends. But I have other girls that I would label them as a friend, but she don't really think they my friend or whatever. But that's just I don't say like predictable, like, but that's understandable. Dealing with the girl, like, you know how they going, you know how women act basically. And so when I say contradicting, for me, I have somewhat basically found, and I don't really want to use the word friendships, because that's not really like a lot of the people that I have grown to know in like the past year and a half, whatever, that I have probably met by doing my podcast, because I have like different guests that I've never interacted with before, or people on social media may reach out to me, whatever, because like, I do a lot of networking, whatever, basically because of my podcast. And then yeah, that's pretty much that. And so like I have, like I said, I've encountered new relationships with new people, and so I don't really want to label them as friends, but I feel like if I don't label them as friends, it seems kind of weird having like just conversations with someone of the opposite sex, basically. So I would label them as a friend rather than being like, oh, who the fuck is this just random girl you be talking to, right? Alright, yeah, so that's that for the episode. I thank y'all for listening to another episode of the Am I Toxic podcast. I'm not gonna do any questions today because this episode is kind of gonna be like a random episode that I'm just throwing out there before the year ends. So I didn't really like ask social media to send me any questions. So I didn't have anything that I wanted to know basically, or have y'all send me any questions. So I'll do that on the next episode. Like I say, I thank y'all for listening to another episode of Am I Toxic podcast. If y'all want to, y'all can follow me on Instagram at OGAntwin. That's OG.ANTWN. And if you are a new listener and you are in like the Colorado area, Colorado Springs, Denver, whatever, Pueblo, that surrounding area kind of section. I am doing photography now, or any of my current listeners who have been listening to me as well. If you want to work, I am doing photography as well. If you just want to like more to like support or whatever, or just look at stuff that I've been doing with photography now since I've been out here, you guys can follow my podcast. You can follow the podcast page as well. That's am.i.toxic.pod on Instagram. That's am.i.toxic.pod. That's the podcast page, and for my photography page, like I was discussing, y'all can follow that. That's underscore toxic dot creations on Instagram. That's underscore toxic dot creations on Instagram. Y'all can look at the pics that I've been doing. And then if you want to book me, you know what I'm saying, hit me up. I'll come shoot you some photos, whatever you want to do, like maternity shoots, birthdays, family pictures, whatever y'all want to do, hit me up. Cause I'm into photography as well now. And yeah, I thank y'all for tuning in. It's been another episode of the Am I Toxic podcast. We out.